Hey, didn't we see these guys at WrestleMania? What's up, everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a piping hot, brand new action figure review today from NECA Toys. We are looking at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, Toka, and Razar 2-pack. This is, of course, a NECA online exclusive for the time being. Never say never when it comes to NECA. You never know if they're going to get a re-release down the road. But for now, if you didn't pre-order these back in July when they were available, you cannot get these anywhere else at the time being unless from a reseller, which of course I strongly always advise against. And I can't believe these figures are already here. I literally got the shipping notification this morning, the day I'm recording this, which is Thursday. And then boom, they were right there on my doorstep. I'm super excited to finally have these figures. It feels like we've been waiting forever, ever since we saw them revealed way back when in that pre-COVID world. And I gotta say, even in the package, these look fantastic. Now, I do have to say right off the bat, I can already tell, if you look right there, I'm missing an accessory, which I looked around in the box and so far I don't see it. Hopefully maybe it's just buried somewhere in there and I don't see it, but that is a major bummer. How that would slip past quality control, I don't know. I've already reached out to NECA customer service. I'm hoping that they will be able to send me a replacement because it is the donut that has the little cube thing in it from the movie, which was easily one of the accessories I was looking forward to the most. But let's not waste a whole lot of time here. Of course, you can see the front of the package right here. On the side of the box, we have Razar and the Turtles logo. And on the other side, we have Toka. And on the back of the box here, you can see some promotional images of the figures. Of course, you have them there holding their weapons. You've got the demonstration of the articulated facial expressions. There is the accessory that I'm missing. And then, of course, there they are confronting the turtles. On the bottom of the box here, you can see who is responsible for the figures and pretty much nothing else. And last, but certainly not least, on the top, you have a picture of both of the figures and the logo yet again. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to crack these bad boys open. We're going to take a look at the accessories and then the figures themselves. And just in typical NECA fashion, you can see here is the backdrop that comes behind the figure. It's like the little barn setting from the movie. That looks really awesome. So starting out here, we have some gripping hands for Toka. We have a wider grip hand, presumably for the branch, and then we have a tighter gripping hand as well. And then we also have even tighter gripping hands as well. And just take a minute to look at the wonderful details that NECA has provided us on these figures. Tons of paint, really nice greens, blacks. There's a really good wash on them as well, so they look gritty and grimy and gross. Then for Razar, we have more gripping hands here, which you can see some really nice fur detail and a wide variety of paint, just like the details on Toka's hands. Look at that. Awesome stuff. They look absolutely fantastic. And then we have a slightly wider grip and then a tighter grip there with the same level of detail as the other hands there. This is some really, really impressive work by NECA. Then you also get a TGRI canister there with the Ooze inside with some really nice silver paint and really clean details for the lettering as well. Love the way the green looks. We also get a fire extinguisher, which is a little barren, but it does have some great detail to it, like some nice silver up there for the top. This is just kind of a soft, rubbery piece right there for the actual hose. So you can get it to move around, but it isn't like a bendy wire or anything, so it just will flop back down in place. But yeah, it looks like a fire extinguisher. Then we also get Razar's shield here, which again features some really wonderful paint app detailing here. I love the way that the silver and brown paint contrasts to give it that rusty, damaged, dirty look, because I'm pretty sure this is a hubcap, if I recall correctly from the movie. And you can see on the inside here how it will fit around his arm. On this part, it has wonderful details here. Really, really killer paint apps already on just the accessories alone. Then here we have Toka's pipe, which looks fantastic as well. Has some really nice silver dry brushing on top of the gray plastic there. That looks absolutely wonderful. And it does actually have a hollow point right here, and it goes a little bit inside right there, but it's hard to see on camera. But you can see there's some really nice detailing there. Lots of dings, dents, little nicks, all sorts of goodies. Then we have Razar's branch here, which literally looks like a piece of a tree. Very accurate detailing and sculpt work done by NECA, and paint application, of course. Not that this is anything surprising. We knew NECA was going to kill it with these figures. All the turtle stuff has been absolutely fantastic. But you can see a multitude of paint there on the inner side of the branch, and then as well some really nice sculpted details that really make this pop and make it look literally like a tree branch. And then we've got some powdered donuts right here with one missing, which I did look through the box. I am actually missing that accessory, so that is a massive bummer. There is one more accessory I will not be showing you on the video, but it is not my fault. It is NECA's fault. Hopefully they make it right and send me that accessory. I certainly hope so for the amount of money that I paid for this set from them. But these donuts actually look amazing. They literally look like real small, tiny donuts. Got wonderful sculpt work there. I never thought I'd be saying wonderful sculpt work for a donut, but here we are. You can see the powdered sugar on top. That just looks fantastic. The holes on the bottom, really, really great stuff. And then, of course, you even get the Simply Donuts box from the movie, which this is an actual piece of cardboard pre-folded for you. And you just pop this open, and then you can go ahead and fit the donuts right in there, and that looks awesome. So you could feed those two some nom-noms, just like in the movie. So for the accessories here, I can't even really think of what else you would want to have included with these two, but NECA really killed it. Tons of accessories for this 2-pack. I love it. And so without further ado, let's take a look at our favorite Bebop and Rocksteady replacements. The babies! Here are Razar and Toka out of the packaging, and these two figures are absolute works of art. There's so much going on between the two of them, although I will have to say I think one might have had a little bit more love put into it than the other one, but we'll get into that. But of course, here they are in person. Feels like it's been a lifetime since these were announced. And I gotta say, even though I'm missing an accessory, I can't be mad because these figures just look so amazing. They literally look like they jumped right out of the screen and into my review station here. So let's not waste a whole lot of time. I think we're gonna take a look at Razar first. All right, and here he is up close and personal, and you could just already tell the amount of detail that went into this figure. Absolutely no competition here from NECA. They kill it when it comes to the sculpt and the detail. They really nailed the crazy googly-eyed look of Razar. And you can see he has all of his wonderful car details on him, such as the grill here, which is held on by some real metal chains that are nice and tiny, but it will stay there securely, so rest assured that's not going to be falling off. And you can see, you know, he's got his shoulder pads, all sorts of great stuff. You can see the chains on the back, the wonderful sculpted fur details with that really nice paint wash on it. Looking at the arms here, you see the tire treads with the spikes on them, which are actually pretty soft. So if he takes a shelf dive, chances are, hopefully these won't break off. And of course, more details moving down here. Really fantastic stuff from NECA Toys here. More of the tire treads with the spikes. Really awesome. Of course, you've got his Tarzan tunic thing right there. And then you could take a look at the knee pads as well, which even feature the underneath sculpted bandages. And then down to the feet here. Again, really great quality, really great details here. It's got that nice black little bit of wash on the fingernails themselves on both feet. That just looks absolutely wonderful. The amount of paint, the variety of sculpt is just so good. So freaking good. And of course you can see his other arm right here with the band around the wrist. And these are the hands that come on him in the package, which are just some more sort of a little bit more open, relaxed hands, I guess, but they are still kind of gripping hands as well. And I just can't get enough of that face. That ugly mug looks so awesome. There's really a ton of details in the mouth as well. The tongue is a nice shiny black. The teeth all look absolutely fantastic as well. Really, really impressed with how this turned out. NECA has done it again. They've made some serious masterpiece figures here. And even though I think that Toka might be a little bit better than this guy, that's not saying that this figure is still not also a frickin' masterpiece. So here's another quick once over here, just so you can fully absorb all of the wonderful details that went into this figure. The sculpt work, the paint apps, everything about this figure is a home run so far. Of course, we still got to test out that articulation. But from a detail standpoint, chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss. And now, the figure that I think is the superior figure that has just a little bit more love put into it. We have Toka, which again, they nailed the awesome childlike googly eyes of the figure itself. You can see he has an articulated jaw. He has tons of great articulation there that I will show you later on. But of course, this is just the detailed portion of the video. Tons of really awesome hard plastic spikes. And of course, looking over to the back here, you can see that Toka is actually a murder weapon. While these spikes are still pretty soft, they have some give to them. So if he takes a shelf dive, you know, chances are they won't completely snap off, but he is still very spiky. 100% you could easily murder someone with this Toka figure, but look at the crazy shell detail in between all of the spikes. Everything like that just looks absolutely fantastic. Really excellent work here. And then of course, looking at the arms, he has more of like the tire tread style armor that Razar has. And of course he has like the bandages as well. And his little chest shell here is a wonderfully detailed and painted piece. And I love all of the wrinkles, all of the folds, all of that stuff here. I love that a lot of the articulation is also hidden within the sculpt. Really excellent work from NECA. And then of course, moving down to the bottom, you can see all of the wonderful details that went into the legs as well. And then of course, he does have the relaxed hands, which also look incredible. The details on both of these figures, I'm running out of words to describe how perfect these look. In my eye, you can't get any better than this. And I don't think any other company would be as crazy as NECA to attempt to release these two figures. It's such a deep cut. You know, not a lot of people like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I personally love TMNT 2. It is my turtle movie. It is my favorite one out of the original trilogy. It's the one I grew up watching endlessly on VHS. So these guys are also just hitting me right in the nostalgia. And NECA absolutely killed it. So there you go. There was a detailed look at the two figures. Now we're going to see how the articulation is on both of them. We're going to start with Razar. Okay, and starting out here, Razar can look up extremely far. He has wonderful head articulation there, and he can look down a very far amount as well. So you can definitely make him look down at the turtles. Of course, the head can rotate from side to side. You can get him to do the Exorcist very easily. And I believe this is a double neck joint. So he's got a joint right here, and then he also has a joint buried further in the head. So that is a wonderful range. Of course, you can get side to side, so you can have those really inquisitive looks, like when they are inspecting the donuts. He does have some type. It's not articulated, but his jaw can close a little bit, but it just wants to reopen. So it's not, and I'm trying to look here, and if it is articulated, it just doesn't want to stay in place for the closed mouth, so it just continues to open up. But you can get it to open pretty wide. And okay, I do see the hinge in there. So it is articulated, it just kind of doesn't work very well, at least on my cop. He does not have articulated eyebrows like Toka, which is a little disappointing, but you do get that mouth articulation though. And of course, my reviews are always fresh out of the package reviews, so you know what you're getting straight out of the box. And this is his shoulder range with his arms moved out. That's what you're looking at fresh out of the package. His arm does rotate about that far up. Of course, the shoulder pads do get in the way. With the chains themselves, they're kind of locked into place, so you really can't get it to go all the way around, but that's okay. I don't think that's a real deal breaker. You get swivel at the bicep, and you also get swivel down at the forearm. And then the double elbow doesn't really work on that arm. Let me try this one. I can get the front joint to go, but the secondary joint doesn't seem to want to move. And I don't really want to risk breaking it. So fresh out of the package, that is what you're looking at. The double elbows are there, and you just need to heat them up a little bit, and then they'll be free. And you can probably get that full range of motion out of them. But even just having the 90 degrees is still amazing. Of course, for the hands themselves, they can rotate, and they do have horizontal hinges in them, so they can move back and forward. And same thing with this hand, back and forward. As far as the crunch goes, that's about what you get forward, and he can go back pretty far as well. Of course, you do also get rotation there. Pretty good range of movement there, and of course this is nice and loose enough to where it doesn't inhibit the articulation. With his foot on the ground, that is how far you can get the leg to kick up, and it is a single jointed knee, which does bend all the way inward, and you can see that the joint is completely hidden, which I always love that about NECA figures. But of course they are pre-posed to where they're, you know, curved legs, but he has no issues standing at all. He stands up just fine. You know, might take a little bit of finagling there, but when I initially saw that coming out of the package, I was like, oh no. Because usually figures that have curved legs typically have issues standing up, but not this guy. The feet can also go down very far, and they can go up just about that far, not too much. And of course he does have ankle pivot. And he also has peg holes on the bottom of his feet here, and there's some more real nice detail that I didn't show earlier, but that looks wonderful. So he's got some really great range of motion here. And of course his legs can kick out about that far. Keep forgetting him to do all this articulation stuff. And the leg can kick back about that far as well. And he does also kind of have a thigh swivel too. So you really get some decent articulation out of this guy. I really just love posing him around already. You can just get him into some really great looking poses. Oh, man, see, that just looks so awesome. Minimal posing required to make these characters look super dope. And now we've got Toka here, which I think is the superior figure when it comes to articulation. He just has a lot more going for him. He can look up about that far. He can't really look down at all. It's more of just a straightforward angle. He does have swivel on the head here, so you can get a different sort of exorcist going with him. The lower neck joint is also articulated as well. Ooh, oh, I'm unlocking our points of articulation here. It's kind of hard to get this base part of the neck moving there fresh out of the package. Again, it's a NECA figure. You guys know you need to heat it up a little bit. And so there you go. With it just a little bit freed, he can look down pretty well. And on Toka, he has articulated eyebrows, so you can have him, you know, oh, he's looking kind of surprised or, you know, inquisitive. Like, there you go, turn the head, make him look like he's looking at you like, what's going on? His little beak snout deal here has a little bit of articulation as well. Of course, the jaw is very easily articulated, And there's the innards of his mouth. Some really great sculpted details there, even on the roof of the mouth, which is kind of hard to see on video. Now his shoulders are a little bit inhibited due to the spikes there, but I don't think that's really the end of the world for him. And you can get them to go down a decent amount as well. And you can rotate them about that far. So that is some really nice, decent range there. Of course, I mean, these two figures don't need to be very dynamic. They weren't very dynamic in the movie. Of course, they were, you know, dudes in giant costumes, so there really wasn't a whole lot of movement to them. But NECA really went above and beyond, putting in so many nice little details, and there's some really great engineering in both of the figures. As far as an ab crunch goes, he can go that far forward, and he can go that far back, and you can also get him to twist around, so it's very similar to the turtle articulation there. So there you go. Of course, you also get bicep swivel, and you get lower forearm swivel as well. And let's see, can both joints work? And oh god, it's so hard to pose them because you want to grip the back of the figure, but you also don't want to freaking destroy your arm or destroy your hand. So Toka seems to have the opposite problem. These joints are freed up, but the forearm joints are nice and frozen. But once you get him heated up, you know that articulation is going to be even better than what I'm showing. So of course the hand rotates around, and he does have horizontal hinges on both of the hands. And I hate grabbing this figure, it's so pointy. The leg can kick out a pretty decent amount as well. And he does also, actually, I believe, looks like Toka has a double knee. Yeah, I believe he has a double knee there. So he has a little bit more articulation, I think, than Razar. Of course, you do get a little bit of thigh swivel. The legs can move out about that far. He can kick back about that far. Knee swivel, which I should have mentioned for Razar as well. So you get it at the top of the knee and the bottom of the knee. And then, of course, for the feet, they can go down about that far. And without forcing it too hard, they can go up a little bit. And they do have ankle pivot. So overall, they both really do have some killer articulation. Although I think a little bit more love was put into Toka. He's got those articulated eyebrows, the beak, the mouth actually can open and close pretty well. He has double knees. Now, he doesn't quite have the arm range or the ab crunch range that Razar does. But, yeah, I think that the articulation is clearly better on Toka. So, now that we've taken a look at the accessories, the details, the articulation for these two, we're going to compare them to a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. First up, we have Raphael and Michelangelo. Then Leonardo and Donatello. Then we have the Spirit of Splinter and Casey Jones. Then Super Shredder and Regular Shredder. Then we've got a couple members of the Foot Clan. And finally, the NECA Marty McFly and the Diamond Select Boba Fett. And so there you have it, folks. There is my review for the brand new NECA Toys Toka and Razar 2-pack. These figures are absolute masterpieces. Great, amazing, fantastic sculpt work, paint application. The articulation is surprisingly great as well. Comes with pretty much every accessory you could possibly think of to include with these two. And I gotta say, I hope you pre-ordered these when you had the chance. I can't imagine they're very cheap on eBay right now, but boy, oh boy, were these worth every single penny, at least from the retail price point. Of course, never support the scalpers or the resellers. That is our code here on the channel. But hey, maybe you found a collector that has a spare 2-pack that they're willing to sell you for cost plus shipping. That's always okay in my book. But otherwise, I would say chances are down the road, you never know, NECA may release these two perhaps single release style with maybe not as many accessories, or they might just completely reissue the 2-pack. They've been doing that quite a bit with the turtle stuff, so I would definitely say do not support the scalpers for these figures. Hold out for them. I guarantee you They will most likely come back into circulation at some point. So, of course, if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you are new. We're always covering NECA and Star Wars The Black Series here on the channel. Of course, ring that bell for notifications so you know when we're uploading our latest videos. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.